when the white wolf fought a silver-tongued devil. His army of elves at his hooves did they revel. They came after me with masterful deceit. They broke down my loot and they kicked in my teeth, while the devil's horns minced our tender meat. And so cried the witcher, he can't be bleed. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you the morn. He thrust every yoke far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain from whence it came.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday here on Tales from the Grim. It is Witcher time. It is Family of Wraiths time. It is time to see exactly where these fantastic players will take this marvelous story. And speaking of the story, how can you, the Legion, help? If you are watching live, please check out chat right now. And if you retweet our going live tweet, once we reach 20 retweets, 30 and or 40, benefits will be given to the crew. They will be awarded with something that will help them in today's session, and it will all be because of your benevolence in spreading the word about our shared story. In addition to that, if you'd like to take an active role in exactly what's going on, you may look straight down and you can see that there are donations. You may make the winds howl with winds howling, which makes the session more difficult for the players. You can give them silver, which is +2 to all of their rolls for the session. Also, if you are fans of Gaunter O'Dim, who has appeared several times and entered into contractual obligations with all of our players, it is time to change the donation now. And if you see it, any donations for Gaunter O'Dim going forward work against the crew. And so as the crew has been receiving benefits, some of them maybe balanced a little in Gaunter's favor, they will most assuredly be balanced in O'Dim's favor going forward. And so you may look down, you can engage in the narrative if you'd like, but otherwise sit back and enjoy your time in the continent and this story shared. We know why we're here, to tell the story of the Witcher family of Wraiths. How can we be here? The benevolence of our sponsors. Artausorian Games has been kind enough to bequeath us with a PDF of the core rulebook every time we go live here. So if you type in !PDF into the chat, you will be entered to win a copy of the core rulebook. And also, for the first time only, if you're watching on YouTube and it is less than 30 days from the uploading of this video, please write a comment. Make it positive would be nice, but if you would write a comment and also say that you'd like to have maybe a little bit of that Witcher action, I will enter you in as well. And so please make sure, even if you're watching later or watching now, get engaged. And this is a fantastic core rulebook. It's something that's worth a read and a play, which is rare nowadays. And also, we are here because of our virtual tabletop of choice, Roll20. Go to www.roll20.net/start/Tales from the Grim. You will have a free account that you can sign up for. And if you have had a story or a game postponed because of quarantine, social distancing, or just simply drifting apart after college or moving away, the story can continue. So please go to Roll20. Tell your own shared story, and keep the tales alive, because that helps us out quite a bit in times like these. Speaking of tales, everybody, we ended last time with a bit of a crossroads. The group has an active quest to help Wim of Gesso, their witcher from the School of the Bear, complete something that has happened in his past, and that is going to the town of Bremervord in Sidaris and helping an aging, ailing, and dying duke by the name of Aglaval rekindle his love that has fallen out of favor. The man at one point in his younger years was in love with a mermaid. By situations we're not really sure of, that love affair ended, and Wim, our character played by Billy, had something to do with that. Wim has been summoned back to the scene of said crime to see if a burnt bridge can indeed be rebuilt. But this is, of course, a story told by the players. I am merely a signpost. So let's bring them in and let's get to the telling. Everybody, welcome back to Witcher Family of Wraiths. Let's jump right into it, my friends. There is a story to tell. There is a place to go. And the first time that your character speaks, if you would, just let us know who you are and who you'll be playing at that time. And, yeah, I think it's time to tell a story. So, we are in the house of Ainfra. We are in the country of Sidaris. You have positioned yourselves to do many things with the, I was promised, the heavy bent being the possibility of Duke Aglaval. But that, of course, is up to you all. It is after a rest, so you all are well rested, healed in point of fact. Where would you like to go?
Well, I guess Deuce is going to go downstairs and a bit sheepishly tell the others that Einfra's out.
She probably needs a rest.
It wasn't like that. I told her about something I saw in Brooklyn, and she went kind of lost it and started doing some magic, and she took a drought and told me that she should not be disturbed. So I'm a bit worried.
What did you tell her?
Well, I saw something in the forest, in the waters. I wasn't sure if it was just a trick of my mind or something else, so I told her about it.
Okay.
I think Yannicka saw it too.
What did you see that could have made her lose it?
Ezekon.
Was it an image? Did it speak to you?
No, not in words. It just showed me the way north. It's kind of like what happened. It's been happening since the funeral. Happened at the funeral, and then I was meditating once and felt his presence as well. I thought it was probably me. But then when Yannicka saw something as well, I had doubts and spoke to Manfra about it. She got really upset. I don't know what she's doing up there or what kind of magic she's cast. She's out cold.
Well, if it makes her lose her shit like that, it's concerning.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we I don't know if Maybe Yannicka, you think we should check, maybe see if she's, you know, she poisoned herself or something?
You wouldn't be the first person to poison themselves over this guy, so, you know, probably worth a shot. You say you saw Ezekon?
Yeah, in the waterfall. I also, wait, no. Yeah, I saw him in the waterfall.
I didn't realize he'd followed us in.
Oh, he's dead. So, I don't know what's happening. The spirit must be still bound somehow to this world.
Perhaps. Or maybe it's something a little bit more specific.
We burnt his body.
Yep. And the moment we did that, I reached into that pyre and I pulled out. And Aris produces the blue meteorite. This.
Did you see him in the fire as well?
No, I saw
Or above
him.
it?
Nope. I saw him. When we entered Brocklon. 4, actually. On the outskirts behind us.
Is he haunting us?
Haven't noticed anything strange, anything moving, noises. Apart from Ainfra, you know, being, well, losing her shit. And I mean, a few people around here have been acting a little bit weird lately, but I think there's something completely different. So, yeah.
Well, she said to just leave her alone until she wakes up.
Right.
Give
I
my
mean,
word.
you know, if she was poisoning herself, trying to potentially kill herself, she would kind of tell you to leave her alone just after. I mean, I hate to point it out, it's kind of, it's not like interrupt me in 5 minutes time, you know, that's a cry for help as opposed to like an actual problem. So yeah,
I guess I should go back up there and check then.
yeah, maybe someone should, you know, go check her
Right.
pulse and
It
her
goes-
breathing work.
Well, now seems like a great time to cut upstairs. And so, as we transition upstairs, let us go ahead and get rid of everybody else except the mage in question. Prax, what is Ainfra doing?
Ainfra is casting a spell, well, a ritual really. One she developed herself, because she recognized the limitations of water seeing. But she discovered that if she manipulated it, and she could do the same as dream seeing, and cast herself much, much further back. And Dusa asked a question and blamed Ezren and the death of the child for the curse. Ainfra doesn't believe that. Ainfra's pretty sure that Kel Hollow had a much bigger plan and she needs details. But it's a little dangerous to spy on an mage actively in the same time and present. less dangerous to do it when they're, 200 years ago. They're not paying attention to that.
So when are you going?
Probably the 24 hours before the sack of the city.
Do you
200
know?
years?
Do you?
I mean, she knows
the date.
She knows roughly the date. She knows exactly how old. She would know exactly how old Ezekon was. And she knows how old Ezren said he was when they gave him to the Witchers. And so she might be... I don't think she has a specific date, because I don't think Ezren told her.
I tell you what, if you would, roll me a d30.
$18.
Okay, you look back and you see the castle, the keep of Rhilestilen. It is the city on the hill. Though it does not fly a flag that says so or contain flags unfurled that may display it, it speaks of promise, of peace. Even from a distance, the walls themselves do not seem boding, they seem welcoming, they seem a bastion of strength, even nestled among the natural world. It's more a part of the world around than a blight or abomination. You can sense its place and the air of perfection about the place, but not perfection, potential perfection. And much like a pilgrim coming upon Rhilestilen to pay homage, you pad along the cobblestone streets, the cobblestone trail that leads to the great gate. You see men-at-arms and villagers and smiles and children. The walls are not cracked. Wraiths do not walk the grounds. The flag still flies. What do you do?
Should probably go towards the throne room. It's a courtyard of the center area. And if she can't get through there, she'd try to head towards, find somewhere that would be she acknowledges her failings, and she's pretty sure that Kel Hollow is a problem. But she also saw something when Ezren disappears that said that Ezren's wife was also blessed with magic. So now she's going to try and start in the throne room and then see if she can find the workroom of a mage.
As if you were there and feeling the wind upon your hair and cheeks, roll me an awareness as you pass through the dream destroyed.
17.
You're about halfway through the courtyard, moving towards what would be an audience chamber, not necessarily a throne room, but somewhere where the people of Rhilestilen would go to petition the Lord of the land. And you hear a laugh, airy and peaceful. And when you turn to look, you see Kel Hollow talking to what appears to be a grain master of some kind, who has a tablet in front of them, and she seems to be indicating something on the tablet. The man smiles and nods, and she doesn't clap him on the shoulder, but touches him lightly, and then reaches up and for a second tugs on a corner of the man's graying beard. And her airy laugh is replaced by a high kind of cackle from the older man, and he moves away with a smile. Kelhollow seems to be moving out of the keep.
I need to roll something because I don't know how in control she is at the moment. Because theoretically she would... She was looking for evidence of the curse, but at the same time she really hates Kelhollow. She's going after Kelhollow. Following her.
Roll me a stealth.
I mean, it's a dream sequence.
It sure is.
It sure is. Stealth. Where is that one? Right. Oh, hold on. Sorry. That's a 9. That's a ripe old 9.
You see Kelhollow kind of move from the keep and peel higher into the mountains to what would be if you left the gates from the front to the right. A direction that you and your companions did not come from or go to during your actual physical visit to the ruins of this place. But as you head towards the right following, she begins to climb, kind of hiking her skirt up a bit as the elevation pitches, and it requires steps up, and she takes them, not decreasing her speed. It's determination in her walk. And within 15 minutes, you begin to hear the sounds of running water. And 5 minutes later, you see that Kelhollow is wading out ankle deep in a very wide but very still stream.
She's gonna hang back and just watch and see what happens.
Kel seems to stand there for a good 5 minutes, if the time in this place is to be believed and appreciated. And then she begins to disrobe until she is nude, and she throws the dress back onto the sandy bank, not caring to place it in an area that might leave it less soiled. And she begins to wade out into the water. Her shins, her knees, her thighs, her stomach does not appear to be stopping.
She'll get a little closer and look around and see if she sees anyone else here.
Roll me an awareness.
That's a 5. She doesn't see anything. Or no, excuse me, 7.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You don't hear anything. This area appears to be alone. Any indication of Kel's comfort level? She doesn't appear to be looking for anyone or waiting for anyone. She's up to her collarbone. You see her jaw begin to dip beneath the water. Her hair, tied in the back, is now floating. You see her continuing to submerge.
Well, she's going swimming. I hate going swimming in fresh water. She kind of thinks to herself. And she'll just follow in. It's not like the water's really gonna harm her.
As soon as you touch the water, you can feel its mountain chill. You can feel water. This is not ethereal. This is not a memory of water. This is not a dream of water. This is water. Or so your body tells you.
She's slightly concerned by that because I don't think she's ever had that reaction when this happened. Can she see if she screwed up this spell from her magical training?
Sure.
Like, because she's the only time she's done this before, it's always been a dream, so. 20.
How far are you going into the water?
I think she would stop once she felt something like that. Felt actual water.
So like ankle deep?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. It's at that point that Kel Hollow disappears beneath the still surface of the stream. With your magical training, Ainfra, this isn't right. You didn't mess anything up, but the problem with this is that you believe that you have entered via your dream into an active, at least in this time, ritual.
Oh, she's backing the hell up.
I need you to roll me. Let's try a sleight of hand here. Do we have sleight of hand? What do we have here that's similar to that?
I have sleight of hand. It's sleight of hand or stealth. It's going to be the same roll for me.
Okay, yeah, let's do sleight of hand then.
10. 10.
There is a splash in front of you, and you feel a hand close over the front of your dress as Kel Hollow rockets out of the water, grabs you, and pulls you towards the stream. You splash in, your knees, you weren't that deep, your knees, body, your chest, and your face submerges into the water. And as soon as it does, you are surrounded by a spotlit blackness. You are floating beneath the surface, and you are staring at Kel Hollow, who is beneath you, naked as you saw her before, but holding on to the front of your dress. Who are you?
Just a visitor who's concerned that you were harming yourself.
The smile upon her face and the laugh that greets your ears is nothing like what she shared with the older man with the beard when they were talking about grain, because this is the true smile of Kel Hollow. This is the one that revels in pain, that speaks of power promised. She is pulling you beneath the waves. Your ability to speak is gone as water rushes into your mouth, down your throat, and I need you to make a stun save.
I needed to roll under an 8.
Okay.
I survived. I did fine.
Okay, so you're able to see this, and this Kel Hollow that is holding on to you looks the same as the one that you know in the waking world, the real world, the one that you have met and known for decades. But this one has the curtain is down on this Kel Hollow. You see the poise from practice centuries not in place yet. This is, for lack of a better term, a child at play. And she is clawing as you force and fight against her. She is clawing at the front of your dress, pulling. You feel her nails kind of rent along the skin across the top of your chest. You have a moment here. You are not stunned. What do you do, my friend?
Well, I mean...
And also roll me an awareness.
Oh, awareness. I'll roll you an awareness. So roll you an awareness first for 23.
In the blackness, the inky splotch of what is this beneath world, beneath the surface of the stream in the past 200 years, you see the source of what presumably Kalhala was diving towards, and you see an urn that is open, and you see what looks to be dirt, dust, ash, drifting out into the stream, down towards the water source that is Rhilestilen.
She's here. She's never had this happen. She's very confused. But she sees Kalhala, and she doesn't know if this will work or not. But can I try a crazy, crazy thing, Greg?
Oh, I love crazy, crazy things.
Cool. Can I open a standing portal underwater?
Absolutely.
Can I open a standing portal downstream where this is flowing towards, interrupting the flow of water to somewhere else?
I won't make you roll for this, but I'll let you know that you would know that you can't change the past. So
so that's like she knows that, but at the same time she's concerned because she's already changed the past. Has she? She doesn't know. So she's gonna try. Well, she can't. She thinks that, and then she's like, "Fuck this shit! I'm gonna teleport the fuck out of here," and just literally teleports. And if Kalhala holds on, she's coming with. Well, no, she's not coming with. That's the joy of teleportation. Teleport to the far side, back down to the Rhilestilen.
You are able to do so. You are able to escape, pushing away, having not been stunned by Kalhala's attack. But as you go and as you push away, you realize that she notes you. She notes your face. And this would be years before you actually meet.
I mean, it's a century before Ainfer's born, so yeah. Or 80 years-ish. So yeah, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
You are outside the gates, but I would like you to roll your spellcasting again for me, please.
Mm-hmm. Uh, 28.
You are before the gates of the keep again, as described before, a perfect day for a perfect place. The memory, even though you've never seen it like this, is intact. The dream lives. But it seems duller now. It seems less bright. Washed up out a bit in the sun. What do you do?
She's pretty sure she knows why it's duller. It's whatever Kalhala was doing. Ainfra would try and... She'd wave a hand in front of her face, make it cast a glamour. Someone who looks like they belong here. Still high enough class that they could walk through the doors of the audience chamber. Change her hair color to make it... And she doesn't look... Not to look southern anymore, to look northern.
You would know as you do this, nobody seems to note you here. Your passage is free of gaze, free of attention. And beneath your glamour, you are still soaking wet.
It's not the first time.
Where are you headed?
She's headed inside the audience chamber to see if she can see anything that would give a hint as to what the hell Kelhallo did, aside from curse everybody.
As you are walking through this place, again, no eyes drawn your way, you eventually find yourself in the rooms that would be that of the royal family, or the ruling family. And your steps begin to slow. You're not slowing down, they just seem to, you're dragging, each one taking longer to complete. The walls around you begin to get translucent, begin to less defined. And before you, still clear, still fully detailed, is a woman whose lines of jaw and width of shoulder you saw once in a wraith floating in this area. You see her sitting on the floor, or her arms draped over her knees drawn up, her eyes red, staring straight ahead, straight through you. And behind her, off to the side, a door, and the wails of a child come from within. But she does not react.
Infra walks by her towards the child.
Again, it slows down. You get there. You get to the bassinet. Screams are coming from within.
She reaches down to wave at the child. I mean, this has not gone at all the way it has before, and she has no clue what the hell is going on, but she's gonna try and calm an infant.
When you look in, I need you to roll me a stun save.
Yeah. Nope, failed it.
You look in, and the cries cease just as your eyes kind of break the threshold around the crib, around the bassinet, and where you would get to where the infant would be at rest, or in this case, wailing. All you see is a chain and a griffin medallion in blood. And you wake up.
Is she alone in her room when she wakes up?
We're gonna say that if anybody was coming up, they would be coming in mere seconds, but you are soaking wet.
Oh, that's weird. That's very weird. And she goes to start walking from her bed to the other side of the room. And I think she's shaking a little. And she's gripping the Nautilus at her neck, holding it tight.
When you reach up for the Nautilus, and you pull your hand back, you notice that there is a flake of something dark on your finger, almost like a almost translucent cut of onion or something with a peel and a membrane. And around its edges, in the water that's collected in the lines of your fingers, you see it kind of break away, and it has an almost ash or dust-like quality.
She's gonna hurry over to her, cupboard behind the screen and start collecting it. She has no idea what it is, but she's pretty sure it's evidence of something, and she's gonna try and hold on to it as long as she can.
You're able to collect it, and it doesn't seem to be disintegrating. It seems to remain suspended in whatever you put it in.
Like a little vial or jar or something, so that she can come back to it later. And I think that's when people, if they're coming up, come in.
Yep. Anybody coming up to check on the mage?
Yep. Coming in. Well, I'm not gonna knock. Just gonna walk in. So you're all right.
Sort of. All right is complicated.
Uh-huh.
Are you? And she kind of reaches out and, are you okay? You look a little concerned. Why were you Russian?
Well, no, I was just thinking. Doesn't matter. Now, is it done what you wanted to do?
Yes and no. Definitely was Kelhollow's fault, and definitely her curse that caused the fall of Rhilestilen.
Uh-huh. Did it cause so it caused Ezren to become a monster as well, or is that another story?
That's a story I couldn't get to. But it's still an active curse, and she was a little more evil than I expected. Actually, a lot more evil than I expected.
See, I told the others about it, what I saw. There's another thing that I saw when I drew magic from the waters of Brokilon. It was Ezren. He spoke. He spoke to me through the waters.
Well, this is just a day for people speaking through the waters. Or night, or however long it... What did Ezren tell you through the waters?
I didn't say anything because I don't know if it's just me or... Is there a way to tell?
Yes, I apologize, by the way, for my unseemly actions earlier. I was upset, and yes, it would be possible to tell, but it's complicated and take time that we don't have right now.
No big rush. But he said there was a mage involved. If it was real.
I know that there was a second mage who was working with Kelhollow. I just can't remember his name. It's bothering me. It's not coming.
At this point, Wim would yell upstairs, "Everything all right up there?"
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So if you said something with your lips closed, I'm downstairs and I couldn't hear you.
Yes, I'm fine, Wim. Thank you for your concern.
Okay. Rest up.
I'm fine. Would you like... Are we going to see Duke about a mermaid?
Yes, it's my plan. But you need to rest up first, and if we've waited this long, we can wait a night.
Very well, we'll go in the morning. I need to get changed anyways. She kind of like shakes her arm, and the heavy satin and silk kind of shakes out all of this water that's all around her.
At this point, it's about 4.5, 5 hours till dawn. Is that how long you all would like to rest?
I think so, but I defer to everybody else.
I think we can take as long as we need.
As long as, yeah. So doesn't sleep, he meditates, so. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, regardless of whether or not you sleep, Staffin has gifted you all with some silver, so you have +2 for your rolls for the rest of the session.
All right.
I'm gonna get cleaned up, Dusa. I appreciate...
And for just before you go, I just want to know, do you think there's a possibility that their spirits are bound here somehow?
Yes, it's possible. Eris's companion proves that. And a mage with enough skill can summon a spirit to them. And she is very hesitant as she turns to you and looks at you and says, "It is possible that I might know how to summon a spirit, but I've never done it, and I won't."
You should.
Yeah, I don't think necromancy really looks good on me now, does it?
Spirits should be laid to rest.
If there's a way, there's a ritual involved of how they're holding them, I need to know who, and I need to know. I must do some research to determine how it's going, what they would be doing, how to break such a thing. I also need to get inside that bubble of Eris's. Has information we need.
All right, well, it's never simple. I'll get some rest.
Yeah. Rest well. Again, you're welcome to anything you can find in my house. Enjoy it.
Not this time.
Yeah, maybe not rubbing alcohol. Someone... I'll talk to you in the morning. Sleep well. And she goes and closes the door behind Dusa.
I'm just gonna head down and meditate by the tree. On the branch.
You're meditating in a tree?
In a tree.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the events of last week also having pretty much kind of coincided with what we have here, with the dinner date and the observation of Eris of his brother and Yannicka eating said dinner date, And that being a break point for the opportunity to rest, I will ask all of those that are not Ainfra or Dusa, what do you do with the next 5 hours? And if it's just sleep, then we can progress.
Yana could bring her dishes in, set them in the sink or on the counter, find Wim, and then go, so...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what, what's happening?
Oh, well, you cooked dinner, so I was just wondering if you... Are we gonna fuck?
He turns around and starts washing the dish. It's important to make sure, it's not our dishes, or and then he'll drop the dishes and turn around and embrace her.
Okay. We'll leave it there as we pull the camera back.
There was an unoccupied bedroom, but not any longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, we pull back, and there's only one person left to talk to. Eris, you were watching the date. What happened after they came in and cleaned up? Like, where are you?
Ah, yeah. Was muted. Okay, so that'll be why. So yeah, Aris was in the corner of the room. He never left the kitchen. So and literally when Yannicka says, "Are we gonna fuck?" Aris just goes, "Thank you." Like, why does this have to be so complicated? And then realizing there was like, as Wim started like washing dishes and she was still standing there, he was just like, "Oh, they're gonna fuck in the kitchen," and he just walks out of the room and is gonna go and find somewhere to just hunker down for the night.
Meets Deuce on the stairs and says, "Do not go downstairs." Just...
Yeah, no, I'm just like I'll leave a sock on the kitchen door, and then I'll head up to a room, and I'm gonna make the last. I don't know how long we've got left here, so just like bath, relax, shave, all of these things. It's just getting self ready for going out the next day. And as much as he ribs the crap out of his brother, he doesn't. He's just gonna give him space to whatever.
Well, while you're shaving and everything, kind of, you would feel tears pull free from you, and she would kind of drift over, and she doesn't really sit on like a bed or wherever you're, but she kind of just doesn't float or hover. She just kind of waves, much like the ocean, and her hair is kind of in that perpetual state of suspension around her. I think it's nice.
I like her. I think she's good for him. And she makes sense, which is nice.
He's always lonely.
I know.
Do you?
I was alone for a long time. It's kind of hard sometimes listening to all their stories about Ezekon. They were always storming the gates side by side or dancing or whatever.
Yes,
Isn't
but
exactly my kind of thing.
he spent the most time with you.
We spend the most amount of time aiming for the same goal. It's not the same as spending time. You know, other than time we spent shackled to a wall and trying not to starve or I never really got to travel with him. You know, I travel with him. What's the point in a viper you can see?
You are traveling with him now.
And yet he's not here.
Hmm.
I miss it. I miss him, and I miss... I don't know, I guess I miss a lot of things I could have had and did. Even Wim.
Wim is here. Her wide eyes look at you from the edge of the bed.
I'll go over and I'll sit down on the bed. And I don't think all of this doesn't change anything, you know, after it all. Wim's gonna have to... I'm gonna have to do what I do. And he is going to go and do what he does, and shit, maybe not. I don't know. No, I was worried about bringing this kind of thing on him. That's why I stayed away. And now I don't know if I can walk away again.
You don't have to.
You know the kind of chasing. You were there that night. I just don't want to bring that on him.
That's his decision.
Well, I meant what I said the other day. I'll make the hard decisions if I have to. Because people like Deucer, people like Wim, they'll make the moral decision or the right decision. That isn't always the decision we have to make.
You would feel that not cold, but cooler arms of tears go around your shoulders and around your neck and kind of drape over you. And you would hear her whisper into your ear as it reverberates in your mind as well. You are not as badass as you think.
It's a good job. But also worrying. Just to tell you the truth. I'm nowhere near as sure as I seem.
I know. You feel her head light on your shoulder, but you can still see her hair kind of suspended in that invisible yet eternal tide as it kind of floats around her.
I will put my arm sort of on the bed behind her, sort of like put my arm around her, but not hold it so it's just close enough that I'm just sort of like against her. And do you think that Ezekon is tethered somewhere?
Yes.
I don't know if we have time for this, Duke.
Destiny doesn't have a clock.
I made him a promise that I wouldn't run off and do anything reckless. We are running out of time. I need someone to help me. I need someone who can crack this rock. I have had a single piece of the puzzle for too long. And it's getting more and more obvious that I am... Can I ask you something?
You see her nod as her hair kind of bobs.
What did he offer you?
Who?
You know who.
To remember.
What would it cost you?
I don't know.
Did you take it?
No.
We'll figure this out. Yeah.
You feel her nestle again on your shoulder, and the last thing she says is, I remember you.
He falls back on the bed and will rest as best he can. But will probably awaken in the morning still full of doubts and worry and all manner of other things.
Absolutely time, chat. Everybody, you wake up the following morning. The day is pleasant. Where do you go?
Ainfra stops at her desk, pulls out a piece of parchment, and writes a letter. She addresses it to Ezekon and leaves it sitting on her desk. And turns and finds a very similar outfit. It's fitted to the waist, very long, high slit leggings underneath, heavy embroidery, but it's lighter, paler, more ice-colored, less royal blue. And she goes downstairs and goes to start making breakfast and sees coin left on the counter and goes, "What the hell is going on?" And starts looking for who, left money in her house to give it back to them. And just starts making up a basic breakfast. Frittatas and bacon, because frittatas are fast and easy. And everyone likes a frittata.
Well, for those that would like frittatas and bacon, they are provided. It's to the point now where, unless there's something that needs to be done at the house, tell me where you all need to go.
I believe we have an appointment with a duke, don't we? And she kind of looks at everyone.
Yannika's just eating bacon and frittatas. She's not saying anything. She's just eating a lot. Hydrating.
Wim will in subtle tones. Have you ever tried turmeric in a frittata before?
Turmeric.
Yeah. It goes great with black pepper. And has several restorative properties, or so I've been told, but it is delicious.
Someone needing restorative properties this morning.
Nope. Don't want to know. Just don't say anything else. Don't want to know.
I might be.
Walk over to get like a drink and something to eat, and on the way past, just without even looking at her, hold up a high five for Yannika.
I don't think she notices. She's just very intently eating and drinking.
And yeah, we'll sit on the counter and eat, and says, so after this Duke business, which I'm hoping is going to be short business,
We have a dwarf to find. And a mage to discover.
or first,
What dwarf are you
And then-
looking for? Do you have a name?
I show the symbol which I have sketched. Is it a turtle or is it an anvil?
The turtle is the dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf. I flash. It's a terrible sort of like charcoal on like a handkerchief drawing.
Does Yannika recognize it?
Let's see. Yannika, why don't you roll me a... Let me see. Intelligence-wise... Do you have any Dwarven? By any chance?
Yeah, I speak Dwarven.
Okay, roll me Dwarven then. And what we'll do is this is...
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna...
20.
You have seen the symbol before. You don't know who it's associated with, but you have seen the symbol of the turtle, and it's a very simple symbol. It's like three half kind of stamps with a turtle shell in the middle of it, and a kind of a longer upside down U that would be representative of the turtle's head. But it's a smithy stamp, so it's very simple. But you've seen this before, and you have also seen it on Scoia'tael armor, which is...
Does my armor have that mark?
No.
Because I got some fancy Scoia'tael armor. Okay.
You do. But yeah.
She'll be like, I recognize it. Seen it before. Don't know much past that, though. It's been a while since I've gotten out.
you recognize it from?
I've seen it before. Just dealing with dwarves, I've also seen it on Scoia'tael armor.
Can I check my armor?
Sure, yeah.
It's not something that probably ever would have occurred to him.
Now, you do not see, you check underneath the straps, like places that aren't like
Hmm.
readily, you don't see any type of stamp that indicates the turtle shell.
Enough. Why?
I've seen it before.
All right.
I know
You,
some dwarves might be able to help find him, track him down or something.
Well, we know he was in the Dragon Mountains.
It's a start.
First order of business, deal with Wim's friend from college, and then we can get on with tracking this dwarf down.
Thanks.
I think. Oh, what? Alright.
What?
Would you like a portal?
I mean, how far is it?
Half day's ride.
Half day's ride.
At this point, you know, I think I'll take any shortcut I can get. So, yeah, if you're up for it. Anyone got a problem with that?
As long as we get to go after the book after.
Yes. This dwarf book.
Right. Look.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have an idea about why that book's important.
Yeah.
Me too.
And she'll cast Standing Portal in her living room to just outside the gates of Angloval's.
Oh, about like the shore, perhaps outside of the keep.
Fine, I can do that too. I don't. And she has to stop and like go through her head for a minute. Okay, no, they're not back yet. And she'll shift it like 5 meters down from where she knew a bunch of sirens were and put the portal there.
You appear along the shores near Bremervord, which is the estate, the kind of the country home of Duke Aglaval. You can see the estate in the distance. It's huge. It's roughly, though it is multi-storied, it looks to be predominantly one floor. It stretches out in a wide, flat hill overlooking the ocean, and built along the side of the hill rushing up to the shore from the estate is a construction which is called the Beloved's Fan. And even from this distance, you can see kind of like the shell quality of it. And the rumor has it this large, almost tide pool, artificial, was built by Aglaval at great expense before he was able to figure out how to make his mermaid, Shanaz, human. And so this enabled them to have the most time together by keeping the tide as close to the estate as possible. It has locks and a system of kind of almost like switchbacks that kind of allow the water to slowly drain from the area. But it's as large an artistic element as it is a functional one. So you can see the marble glistening from here. It still seems clean, even though likely not used for decades. You see people about. Soldiers. Above the estate, the flag of Sidaris flies, and in the place of respect upon a second mount, you see the flag of Nilfgaard.
Which one's higher?
Sidaris. You would all know without need for a roll that whenever visiting emissaries or ambassadors come to show respect. Their flag is lifted as well, but also to show respect beneath that of the hosting nation. What would you like to do, friends?
Wim looks at the party. I'd like to go down to the shore and have a conversation. So, if you'll let me. What? Why am I? And he just turns around and walks down, like starts to. If there are rocks or fences or whatever, he has to hop, but he wants to get as close to the shore as he can. And then hopefully away from most people or most folks, and then he'll call out to the water, Shinaz, and wait. And wait.
Roll me persuasion, charisma, or seduction.
Who boy? Okay.
I will allow you to bring somebody with you too if you think, and you can aid each other in this call. But
All right, so persuasion is. Sorry, is that all empathy?
Yeah.
It is all empathy, yes.
Okay. All the scores the same, so let's go with persuasion. I'm gonna do it. I walk down here by myself. I'm committing to it.
In a relatively quick period of time, you begin to see the glint of, at first, what looks like a large, almost like a game fish, like a marlin or some type of just a massive creature. But as the tail kind of splashes into the air and comes down, you can see the ruby iridescence that is much more than a traditional fish. And within moments, the creature known as Shinaz pulls up onto a rock in front of you. And she pulls herself up, and as she pulls herself out of the water, her long hair suspends for a moment and floats to either side, as if suspended in some type of invisible liquid, just holding its weight and drifting in the air. I know.
How have you been?
She cocks her head. The eyes seem wider than you remember. They seem bigger, darker. I remember you.
Remember my name?
Where is your old friend?
He's passed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Shitty story. How have you been?
I am free. She cocks her head for a moment. You smell different. You smell like the sea.
I didn't do anything different. Is that supposed to mean something?
Her eyes narrow a bit, but not in worry or concern, more like in thought. And her hair, as she turns and cocks her head, it suspends there and floats a bit around her head. Strange. Would have sworn. Then she sort of shakes her head. What do you need?
Well, I wanted to have a talk with you. I guess about old times.
About what?
You know what?
Is he dead?
I don't think so.
What do you wish of me, whim of the bear?
His son came to me and asked me to speak with you. As you can imagine, in his old age, he's harbored some regret.
Her large eyes narrow. He has no children.
Well, one that acts like next in line, perhaps. Richard? Fuck, what was his name?
She
Robert.
answers. Yeah, she answers. Robert.
Yeah. Names were my strong suit, but you know, I know I shouldn't even be talking on his behalf. He's tried to kill me since all this. Not to mention, initially set me in a trap with drowners. But, a dying wish is, hard to pass up. And if I am walking into a trap, I've got friends now.
She looks at you. I heard he was dying.
I heard that too. I ain't met with him yet. In the event that it is a trap, I wanted to come and see you first. Frankly, I like you better.
You've just lowered the DC of the persuasion, seduction, or charisma roll that you need to make right now.
Cool. Okay. So persuasive.
What would you have of me? You have not seen him. He is more enemy to you than even acquaintance, much like me.
But it wasn't always that way. He knew that you'd never speak to him, but maybe if I were to come down and have a word with you, that forgiveness might be something that's on the table.
I will not speak with him.
That's fair.
But I will do something for you. For your past bravery freed me. Bring him down to the fan, and I will swim into the bay. I will not speak to him, but he can see me before he is farewelled.
I can do that. Is there anything I can do for you?
Be careful.
Well, if it is a trap, we'll at least get a show. And I'll crack a smile.
She smiles a bit, but she still seems distracted. And as her hair is kind of just floating around her in that state of perpetual suspension, she shakes it again and it turns a beat behind her as it goes back and forth with kind of a secondary pull. Strange.
Question, has her hair always been like that?
You never saw her as a mermaid.
Ah, okay.
You saw her as a human that retreated whenever she found out what had been going on to keep her as a human.
Mhm.
But I will allow you to roll a deduction if you would like.
Man, maybe I should have brought Dedusa along. Okay.
The DC on this was 12 for Wim and Wim alone. Everybody else, it was 20. You don't remember seeing her hair do this before, but it seems an awful lot like tears.
If before I go up there, I've kind of, in the past 20 or so years, developed connections with outliers, you could say, and that means no negative connotation to you, but hey, do you have any stories, any good ones that have happened since last we saw each other?
She again seems confused, but smiles. I'm afraid my stories would lack context for you. I live beneath the waves.
Yeah. Some folks barter and coin. I, for one, daydream. So a good story from time to time is appreciated.
Her muscled arm points north up the shore. When this is over, meet me up there. I would speak to you again. Perhaps I will think of a story that is worth your price.
Thank you. And then he'll push himself up, and you be careful too. I don't know what to expect from this.
She kind of nods. I will remain in the bay. I do not trust him either.
All right, but here I go, and I'll turn around and head back up to the party.
Okay. As you walk away and walk up, the rest of the party greets you as you see them coming. The estate, now you can see a couple people sitting out on the large patio that kind of leads down and bleeds down into what is called the Beloved's Fan, this large kind of tide pool that's part Art Deco, part function. You can see that there are several, at least people that are wearing the colors of Sedaris standing up there. And even from this distance, you can recognize Robert, You can see Robert standing among them as he's moving and he's calling for a glass, and you actually see him lift a large spyglass down to you all, and you see him wave a hand in recognition.
And so Wim looks back at the rest of the party. As our men, be prepared. This could be a nasty trap, or it could not. It's well, yeah. Woo! And then he'll walk in Robert's direction.
Okay. It's a short walk. You're about a quarter mile, half mile off. But it's beautiful. This whole area has been manicured to even augment and help the natural world around here, just at the water's edge. And as you move up towards the estate, are the rest of you doing anything?
Neka takes a palmful of sand from the beach and puts it in a little vial or pouch.
Okay.
Keeps up with the group.
For a moment, your group, as you kind of move up, there's a natural outcropping as your level of the beach is kind of rising up to meet the estate. And for a moment, you're kind of walking with the seawall to your left. And Eris, you would feel the pull in the back of your head as Tears says, "Are we by the sea?"
Yeah.
Can I look?
Yeah. He will take a moment to step. I want to check to see if if the meeting area is overwatched in any way. If there's anyone positioned in an ambush kind of position or anything like that, or just like people being nosy. It seems like quite an open area.
Sure, roll me an awareness.
I will do that.
And remember, +2 for the Shilva.
For the shield.
Shilva.
I'm a Russian submarine. 26.
26. Gordon's alive. As you look around, you don't see anybody in like preparation to spring to lay way to your group as you approach the estate of Duke Aglaval. You do see that there are several men-at-arms wearing the colors of Sidaris, but none of them appear threatening or appear to be like marshaling to engage you all. They are armed. Many of them have like dirks and things at their sides, but no more than house guards would. You don't see anybody, they're wearing chain, not plate. They're, it's okay. More, yeah. As you're getting close, though, I would like Dusa to roll me an awareness, please.
While Dusa is doing his awareness, Aris will literally step into Wim's shadow and just say to Tears, "Just turn your head." And he will keep looking forward and sort of like stare out the side of his face and see.
Yeah, you can feel that pull, almost like it's a less caustic version of pulling your foot out of mud, but you can feel her kind of peel away from the side, and you can see tendrils of her hair suspended out. It's the sea. And you can feel that she's watching, and though you said but a moment, she takes several. And then you feel her kind of re-engage. Dusa with a 20, as you look around, you notice now that because you guys come up with the seawall to your left, and now the estate is in full view, that there, in addition to the flag of Sidaris that is at highest mast, and the Nilfgaardian flag, which is, resting several lengths beneath it, there is a third flag that's resting in the same level as Nilfgaard. This flag is green and gold, a tree inside a sun, and you recognize this as the very same thing that you saw indicated in the waterfall. These are the colors of Rhilestilen.
Just tap Iris and say, "You see that?
Yeah.
Good." Because I saw it in the waterfall.
So what?
Why are they flying that?
You all would see as you near the patio and come between 175, 50 yards, Robert's waving and looking over his shoulder. Off to the corner of the large patio, you see several men dressed in the colors of Nilfgaard. They seem to be watching the scene with a bit of interest, and you would see that several retainers have come out. An older man, Duke Aglaval, is nowhere to be seen. But with a gesture, Robert kind of pulls someone forward, and you see a familiar face emerge from the estate.
Huh? Okay. You're muted, Ambassador.
As Ezren walks out onto the patio, you all see your traveling companion of quite a few adventures walk out, and as the camera
It's that bard guy.
as the camera turns up, just as Ezren walks out, you see the flag of Rhilestilen waving in the air above him. And that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. See you in 5, everybody. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Wednesday Witchers here on Tales from the Grim. We have our full cast revealed, and so as with the revealing, we welcome back Trooper, my friend. How are you? And welcome back to the continent. Welcome back to Family of Wraiths. Welcome back to your family.
Hello, family.
Just to remind everybody, real quick, who are you playing?
I am Trooper SJP, and I'm playing Ezren, Lord Ezren, Prince of Rhilestilen, a principality that does not currently exist, and also their traveling companion, who was sort of went missing a little bit by being sucked into a stone for a honeymoon. I mean, it wasn't really a honeymoon, because I feel like honeymoons are supposed to be a little bit more exciting than being sucked into a stone, but, you know, whatever. You know.
Right, I know. I do. I agree completely with everything you've just said. So everybody, as you are walking up to the patio that kind of bleeds from what was the beach up the seawall beside the Beloved's fan, which is that long kind of stretch of artificial tide pool, and you come along the large kind of block patio just outside the back of the estate overlooking the ocean, you see Ezren come out. And in addition to that, Robert waves to Wim. You came. Thank God.
Yeah, we had some pressing things we had to take care of, but I made it here with them as quickly as we could. How are you, sir?
He nods. I am well. My uncle lives. It was desperate, but he is stubborn, and a couple people laugh behind. He is recovering. Were you? And he indicates the beach. We saw you come from the beach. We did not see you enter, but did you see her?
I did, but there's some things I need to speak with him about privately.
Very, very well. We can arrange to see him. He is very weak, but with this, I believe he will have the strength.
What's his favorite food?
My uncle's?
Yeah.
It is certainly not humble pie.
Aha. Oh, is that a joke? I don't know what humble pie is.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to be more down to earth is, I believe, what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. And Nilfgaard is visiting as well. And what's that other flag?
Your friend.
It is mine. It is good to see you, gentles.
It's good to see you. How, though?
That is a story. Perchance we should speak of it over ale.
Ale? What do they serve here? It's been a long time.
We're at the beach, so it's predominantly sangria, and all of our ale has slices of lime in it. But it's refreshing. We all like it, or so we tell ourselves.
Just to clarify, nothing with the medallion, right? Medallion's not reacting in any way.
It just will.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if everyone's in this like congregation, Wim would embrace Ezren, or at least open up the invitation to an embrace.
Oh, there will be a big hug back, and Ezren will say, I was concerned that thou hadst forgotten me.
How? We could never.
it is good to be. We thought you would come here, so it would be the best place to wait for you. My only lead.
And what about the mage?
Well, that mage is not here.
I
Well,
poke
what
him.
happened with the mage?
Yannicka, why dost thou do that? I live, I'm here.
Just checking.
Come, shall we sit and speak of a strange journey?
Indeed we shall, but I must meet with the Duke at first.
Yeah. If he's ill, I would like to look at him.
I understand, but I have not seen ye in so long.
Talk to the Duke.
Wonder strange. We thought we would have a warmer homecoming.
Greg.
How many more times do I have to hug you to make it warmer?
Why don't you tell us what happened?
I shall, but should we not do this perchance not out in the courtyard?
Sure.
I would like to go
Yes.
somewhere private. Greg?
Yes, I
totally
think
down with that.
It's a grand idea.
Well, shall we go to my my quarters?
You've got quarters here.
Um,
Lord Robert has been most hospitable.
And he's starting to be pretty funny too, so things are looking up for him.
I have told him that leadership is best done on foot rather than from on high. Is that not right, Robert?
Yes. Down to earth, I believe, is what you've told me. And
Yes.
I believe you all
Leadership is...
do need to speak, though. I have talked with your friend Ezren of all the things, and he particularly looks at Varan, what I spoke with Mr. Varan about, concerning mistaken identity.
It is quite good then that we are prepared for any conversation. I do apologize, where are my manners? It is a pleasure to see you again, Lord Robert.
He bows and takes a hand if offered, and brushes his lips across the knuckles, as is custom in Sidaris, and almost casts a glance back towards Ezrin to see if he's nailed the full presentation, the full arm, everything locked and held the right way. Waiting for just a bit of...
There's a slight nod.
That's the attaboy he needed. So he peacocks a bit as he pulls up. Yes. Well met.
Well met indeed. I'm quite pleased that you're doing well again, Robert. Has my dear friend Yennefer been attending well to your uncle?
Yennefer of Vengerberg, feared that she was... My uncle sent her away. She is no longer here. To my knowledge, she might still be in Sidaris, but she is not here in Bremervoord.
Such a shame. I was sure I would catch up with her eventually. I'll do so when I need to. Why don't you escort us to the
pardon, mistress, but I was... She did mention that she was waiting for someone named Ainfra, and that, in her words, not mine, the bitch was late. And I didn't know if you knew her, or...
Ainfra is another associate of ours, and she was unfortunately delayed and attacked on the road. She just recovered. What she wished for me to be brought here has been, I brought in her stead.
Oh, how awful. I fear that, given my own problems in the north, and he leads that question as much as that statement as much as possible. My problems in the north. Beat. I have feared that she could have run into similar troubles.
I have not heard the exact cause of her delay, but I was told that she was waylaid on the road, and therefore I would need to finish her journey.
Oh, very well. I'm afraid that you have missed Mistress Yennefer, but should she contact us or stop by, I will let her know that you were here. I will leave you all to it as I go and discuss with my uncle the meeting with Master Wim.
Shall we join you in the quarters when we are finished with our conversation, Robert?
Yes, please. Give me but a moment. Uncle is, I'm assuredly napping, but when I tell him that the Witcher, my pardon, the Master Wim has arrived, that should rouse him quite a bit.
No need for graces. Robert, everybody shits.
Master Wim, there is always need for graces.
But
that's why we hugged, right? That's a grace.
Come.
You've earned it.
We have much to speak about. I will lead them to my quarters.
Yeah. And this would be a traditional villa style. So you would have quarters, but your quarters would also consist not just of like a bedroom, but also of like a sitting room. Usually have some type of like private balcony that you could go out on. This is a palatial estate. So it is, especially for dignitaries and guests, quite fancy.
It's nice. Once we get in and shut the door, I look at everyone. I was hoping that ye would come here.
Something wrong?
What happened?
Well, I was transported through this stone and found myself somewhere in the wilds of Bremerwood with no horse and no means to contact you. I traveled here, hoping to gain allies from Lord Robert, and knowing that ye intended to come here eventually, I hoped that it would be sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, I do not have Aron's gift of magic to send messages.
No, and I got a message.
Well, I am no sorcerer, is what I mean to say.
I'd like to roll. This is looking at his face, searching his eyes, searching for something that would maybe might be a bit off. Because
sure,
he got a message. The waterfall. Through the waters.
Correct. I will definitely allow you to... Yeah, you can roll an awareness. He looks like Ezren. He sounds like Ezren. He smells like Ezren to all of the Witchers in the room.
Yeah. But it's in the eyes that he's looking.
The eyes look good.
I will pour sangria for everyone, by the way.
There's also beer there with lime.
Also,
Is it red sangria or white sangria?
it's
That's
the
an important
beach.
question.
So I imagine it's a rosé.
I will walk over to help him with pouring drinks and stuff. And as the two of them are side by side for a second, Aris is just going to. We're in your private chambers, you said? So it's just the group in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Which case, Aris is going to take his silver blade and press it against his skin and see what happens.
Before you can attack me with a weapon, I'm going to back off because that's creepy.
That's fair. Can I try and
Medusa might have an issue with that as well.
Yeah, I imagined. That's why I didn't really give anyone forewarning that I was about to do it.
There you go. Free action.
You've got a 10-foot long sword, Dusa. I don't like tipping you off on stuff. Can I make some kind of check to see if I can?
Yeah, it's if it's something that Trooper doesn't want to happen to Ezren and something you want to happen to Ezren, the easiest way to do this is a straight agility. So roll an initiative.
Okay.
Let's see, initiative.
Goes to the defender.
That isn't with the plus.
Yeah, you both tied, so you both have the pluses regardless.
Trooper's
Sorry.
rolls are whispered.
Oh, sorry. And also, I get a +2, so I'm at a 20.
Right. Just so you know,
Yes.
Trooper rolled the exact same thing that you did. You both rolled an 18.
Okay.
Did you add? But you didn't add your +2?
No, I didn't add my plus
Yep.
to it.
So to the defender, you almost touch him with the silver, but Trooper,
I
you're
look
able
alarmed. Master Aris, what is this?
What's the meaning of that?
Silver.
Oh.
Touch the blade.
Lord
I'll
Aris, you
extend it to you.
you know my condition.
That's a nice try.
Silver is difficult for me, as well you know. And then he stops. Well, perchance you don't.
Meaning?
No, we all saw you turn into a giant. And she stops and pauses there and waits.
Giant what?
Well, you were busy through a portal at the time, but I definitely saw. And she waits. That leading sentence, like she wants Ezren to finish the sentence.
And he just looks a little awkward. He knows what you're waiting for, and he's trying to figure out how to describe it.
Wim will interject. Are you one of them skeleton berserkers?
Oh no, that would be pleasurable in this case. I've dealt with them before.
Last time we saw Robert, he had someone in his retinue that could change forms. Someone who was good enough to pass as one of his own personal guard.
Aye.
And then Ezren, who vanished into thin air,
I was taken.
reappears here. Oh, I have no doubt you were taken.
Master Aris, I have a condition that makes touching silver.
I'm aware of the fucking condition. It doesn't solve our little conundrum here. What reason do we have to trust you?
Aris,
So the conundrum.
are you missing something, Ezren? Is there something missing?
There are many things missing, but I would ask, if I might, Master Trinian, if I might have my sword back from you. And I point to my sword on your back.
Mm-hmm. I'll draw it and hand it to you, hilt first.
I take it and I look at it. It has been too long. Thank you. And I sheath it.
And why'd you leave it with me in the first place?
Like a week.
Kianika.
Why'd you forsake your sword?
Master Trinian, I felt it needed to be kept safe with someone I trust.
And how are you to keep yourself safe without it?
My well-being is less important as the well-being of those I care for.
Ezren, I carry 3 swords.
But this sword is special.
And how?
This is the sword of Rhilestilen. It must be kept safe.
I don't understand, Ezren.
Ezren.
I.
Greg, did I get an answer?
I told you what you were facing. Are you pushing through with that anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
need you to make a stun saving throw for me then as soon as you're stun save.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, gosh. Rude.
Nope. Entirely appropriate. Entirely appropriate. Ainfra turns around and steps up next to Eris, and Eris would feel his medallion vibrate. Mildly, but vibrate. And she turns and looks at Ezren. And waits. And no, she passes. I don't know what the hell happens, but she fails the stun save.
You see blood pour out of Ainfra's nose, and she drops to the ground.
Mistress Moran! I'm going to go rush to try to help her.
I smack him.
Yes, I'm gonna...
Aside, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Let me see what's wrong here. I'd like to examine her, why she would suddenly like an anime character shoot blood from her nose and
did
then
she
pass
just
out.
sneeze? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, this, I'll let you know this too, as you're rolling your healing hands. This looks like a severe, violent hemorrhage. The thing is,
Okay.
you know, is it the nose or is it somewhere points?
Is it the brain? Yeah, that's important to know. Cool.
Oh.
25.
Yeah, luckily this seems to be something of a rupture with her entire body going tense, and it doesn't, it's not pleasant, but it looks as if one of her sinuses ruptured, and just because of a pressure change inside her own head.
Well, then as she, what she'll do for a ruptured sinus is she'll pull out just a pinch of clotting powder, make sure her mouth stays shut, and hold it next to a nostril so it gets up in there and it stops bleeding as quickly.
Mistress Yannicka, what ails her?
What's wrong?
Sinus rupture, maybe it's the elevation change catching up with her. She'll be fine. And then I'll pull out the smelling salts. After the clotting powder's in there, the smelling salts out.
Is she? Am I conscious?
You'll be conscious in about a minute, and you take 5 hit points of damage.
Okay.
Mark those uses of things.
Pray tell, what happened to all of ye while I was spirited away?
And if anyone's doing a perception check on the room, Wim is watching Yannicka work, and his face just droops as he zones out.
Trooper, have Ezren roll me a human perception, please.
I shall. I'm not bad at that.
Clotting powder, smelling salts, turn the head. Just normal stuff.
27 critical.
Oh my god.
So 33.
Yeah, they're having sex.
I say nothing. I say not about it because that would be impolite in mixed company. But
in mixed company.
But I note it. I note it. But my concern is still more on what happened.
You can ask her what happens when she wakes up in a second. I'm just wafting and smelling salts.
I meant with all of you after the battle. Master Trinian, Master Eris, Master Wynn.
Trinian's having a hard time reconciling all of this. So you can see him kind of rubbing his temples, looking at you.
I know not how I was transported here, but somehow I was. Magery more like. But you all survived, and you all made it here.
So you didn't send me a message?
Not of my waking mind, no.
What about your sleeping mind?
Perchance, if so, I would not know.
But you said you couldn't do that.
I cannot. And so, by no means of my own power did I do such a thing. Pray tell, what was this message? What was the message?
You tell me, you're the one who sent it. Apparently.
Did you dream of anything while you were gone?
I had no dreams. My time was...
How long have you been here, Ezren?
I've been here for a few days.
A few days?
Indeed. I thought it would be...
How long did it take you to get here how long did it take you to get here?
I did walk a day or so, and then found myself here. Closest place, and more like 'twas good, for I knew...
Greg, how close are we to Novigrad?
You are relatively close. You're just south, really. A couple days travel. Okay. Now, remember, you had a 9-day skip there, though.
So it's been like, what, since the battle, it's been at least, 12 days or so?
Yeah, it's like a 10-day and a half. You're looking at right around 13, 14 days.
Yeah.
Gentle is not the 13, Legion way, Staffin.
9 days, 2 days. So we've accounted for 11 days. Okay. That's close enough.
I have been waiting. I need to know how goes it? What happened with Kel Hello?
Your guess is as good as ours.
Ain't for your waking up.
Cool.
There's some potent smelling salts that you get. That's their first waft.
Cool.
And do you have any immediate healing with that, Lindy? I always forget if you have immediate healing with.
I mean, if I make a healing hands check, then yeah, they get a bonus of +2 or 3
to natural healing. Correct? Is that going forward?
No, that's just immediate.
Okay, well then take 3 back, Prax. So you'll be down 2 total.
It's my healing tent for the progressive healing.
That's right. I'll be asking that for the foreseeable future. I'm not able to get the healing part of this down.
Mistress Varan,
I heal good.
Be that all right?
Hey, Greg.
Yes.
Varan is lying on the floor right next to Yannicka, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kneeling next to you.
Varan puts her hand on Yannicka and then takes her left hand and reaches out and tries to dispel whatever the hell Ezren is.
That's rude. Like, my friends are very aggressive right now.
Ezren should not be able
It's like
to
seeing a
block
ghost.
a path. No, it's worse than that. Because she
Yeah,
says,
worse.
whoever you are, you're not Ezren.
She says that?
I am.
Okay, I'm gonna jump on him.
Being attacked by my allies.
Oh wait, I before because Ainfra is a mage of considerable power. Are you believe that the reverberation came from Ezren?
Yeah.
Oh, then I wasn't clear in the text that I sent you before.
Okay.
There was a mage nearby. That's you sense the presence of a mage, not Ezren. It's not coming from Ezren.
Oh, okay,
Ezren.
okay.
Still jump him.
Still jump. Too late, I jumped him.
I'm not a mage.
No,
retcon
it's
that.
a very,
You
it's a
also
very
are on a
important.
bard. You've lied before.
Very
I make
important
mistakes
distinction.
all the time. I mistakenly jump him.
Look, when I
it's a
said
very
it wasn't a bard, that was true.
I
I said it was a bard, that was a lie. But
Yeah.
to say that I'm not a mage, I'm also not lying. That is true.
How would we know? You're the one who's good at this.
That's fair.
At least human perception when a human perception person is evil.
Then a rewind. She would try and dispel whatever the mage has, because if magic, the magic she was working with, she knows should not have been able to have been blocked.
So she didn't say she didn't say what she said.
No.
Okay.
I
Still
would
rubbing my
change.
temples in.
I would change slightly what I say. I would say, who's, and she wouldn't say anything. She would just reach out and reach to dispel towards Ezren, because there was something that actually blocked her physically, and that should not be possible, particularly not Ezren, who is not a mage. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Not
Sure.
mage. So, Gentles, what did happen with Kel Hello?
Don't sit up too fast.
Don't talk yet.
Your guess is as good as ours, Ezra.
Gentlemen, please don't. Not yet.
Mistress Ferran. And I will hand you a handkerchief because there's blood.
Thank you.
That's character. It's
You recognize the handkerchief?
Sorry. I've been here for a couple of days. They've given me some clothes.
JF, it's the handkerchief that owes you money. You know this handkerchief well.
It's the handkerchief of doom.
Sorry, I'm doing math. Doing math.
Math is hard.
That's a 30.
Here, roll me like your knowledge, your skill training, your magic knowledge. Magical training, yeah, please.
Anything that's around should be able to be broken within 10 meters of that. I only have to roll half of what they cast. Ugh, fumble.
Ooh. 20 is still good though, right? On a fumble?
Yeah, but not 11's not. Luckily, there's nothing magical. There's no reverb on this. It's just my knowledge.
You feel something go down, like you feel that something is dispelled by your magic. However, you seem or believe before, you can't really glean too much from this, but it feels like it's innate to the place. And again, it might have something to do with the construction of this estate. Perhaps it is arranged in such a way, out of character. Perhaps it used to hold a mermaid who was imprisoned using a curse and had some type of supportive magic that was associated with it.
Weird.
I don't know if that...
I break shit.
Right, so... yes, that was a load-bearing spell. That's great, Matt.
The building collapses.
Right. Just gravity just turns off in the room like, oh, shit.
Oh, damn it. Right.
I mean, yeah, okay, fine. But then she'll look at Ezra and say, so who's the mage who's here?
Greg, who's the court mage? Do they currently have a court mage? No, they don't, right?
You do not know of any mage that's here. You knew that Yennefer of Vengerberg had been here, but she is no longer on site.
I know only of their previous court mage, a A woman named Yennefer of Yengeberg. I know not who might have replaced her.
Note how Greg said, "You know, not Ezren knows." Because
Jesus.
he isn't. So
Okay, I tell you what.
I look over to Ainfra. I look over to Ainfra and I just say, "Is he clean?"
And she'll reach out mentally again and try to speak to Ezren.
This is RP. This is not DM stuff.
Does it go through to my brain?
Yeah, does this time go through?
The area has been dispelled that had the dampener on
Okay.
it. So.
Okay. Oh, I broke a dampener. Okay, that's fine.
It's fine. We don't worry about that till later. That's a later us problem.
Those are insanely expensive or anything, but that's all right.
I feel like that's.
We don't need to say who broke it.
It was
Yennefer
must have been
just
Yennefer.
here.
Couldn't be this newbie mage. Nah.
No, some rando. Who knows how it happened?
I mean, it's not like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know anything. Then she'll turn and look at Ezra and go to his mind and say, "What is my name, Ezra?"
I will say, in my mind, not out loud. First, I'll be like surprised because this is the first time you've done that to me. Yes. So.
Nope.
When?
Literally right before the fight, she walks up to you and says, "Ezra, I'm going to stab your ex-girlfriend."
Oh, that was in the brain, right? That was in the brain, not out loud. Mm-hmm. And I'll say, Mistress Ferran, why do you ask this? Why dost thou ask this of me?
What is my name, Ezra?
And you can see Ezrin is has got that sort of knitted up face as if something's going on, and like he's like pondering, like the group there's a conversation happening most likely. And he says,
well, I mean, she's still sitting next to Eris, and the medallion would probably vibrate very, very little. There's magic.
But Ezrin is not hiding that there's thoughts going on in his brain, right? He's not playing it off like he's not. Mistress Ferran, that is what I shall call thee.
Okay. Can I ask a player question?
Yes.
You know her name is Ainfra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he did. We're aware of that, right?
Well, this conversation
Yes.
between she and I is happening in our mind.
Oh,
in our
okay.
Yeah,
minds.
but okay, but this is the point where
Yeah.
this is the point where you call her Veron.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I don't think it's him.
What?
Can't jumping him.
That is so aggressive.
As soon as
Pull out a knife.
she says that, it's like a mountain lion just leaping.
How big is this room? Just out of curiosity.
Are you gonna cast Fireball? No.
No. No, then I wouldn't have asked
on
how big the room
myself.
was.
Right. I will say this just because this is the fun part to do this. There's a knock at the door and you hear Robert. Ezrin! It's me, Robert! The room's
Ainfra gets
ajar.
up and goes to the door.
I look at Wim like, do we need to handle that while they handle this?
I allow that to happen. I'm gonna go to the door.
I will defend myself, but not want to injure my friends, though.
And also, Wim will interject. Stop! Nothing can happen here. I've got to speak to Aglavol.
Trinian, unhand me.
There's only one
Then
way.
what?
That is
There's a nice
Then-
little
chance of this
snarl on
fight.
Dusa's face as he
Then
tries to
then
wrestle.
what is my name, Ezra?
Mistress Ferran, this is not the time or place.
Oh, I know. Prove to me who you are.
You know who I am, Yannicka. Speak to my character, please.
I don't
Oh,
even know
your character?
you.
Your speak to your character. You mean the character of the man who had an affair with his court mage, then didn't tell
Ezrin!
her, well, then
Slip out
told
the
her-
door.
I've known you for
Don't
20
deal with
minutes
that.
on the docks, and then now.
Okay, let's cut to the door. As this is happening, our camera shifts over to the
Yannicka
door.
looks awkward and puzzled as to why she's being asked for a character vouch.
As the door opens, Robert is not used to having a door partially opened in his estate.
No, I slip out and close the door behind me.
Master Witcher.
Is he alone?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I am here to
Greg's
take
so worried.
My NPCs.
I'm here.
Regicide. Go on.
I'm here to take Master Wim to the Duke. He is ready. The rest of you may attend if you wish. He is taking audience in his solarium.
Yeah, Wim's been on the road for a couple of days. Figured it'd probably be a good idea for him to wash before he met with the Duke, considering he's a sick man. You know, we don't exactly live the cleanest of lives. You mind if I talk to you for a moment, somewhere in private?
Of course not. Yes. Can I get you anything? Do you need any more beer with lime in it?
Sure. Greg, I think I sent you a thing, but I imagine you're getting a lot of messages right now.
It's
so
it's a little crazy, buddy.
Yeah. Would it be reasonable to assume that question to the DM for the world? Sure. How common is silver as a material? Silvering weapons is a whole different ball game and stuff like that. But
Right.
It's like a soft metal. But would it be safe to assume that I would have a piece of silver on me?
Your medallion is
blade?
silver.
Apart from my medallion, which is super obvious.
Being a Witcher,
like a silver coin or something like that.
I would say that all Witchers would probably.
Knife?
Yeah, all Witchers would
Silverware?
probably have at least some piece of silver on them for exactly what you're intending.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk with him somewhere secluded to talk with beer with lime in it, and
big glass mugs.
Great. Is he wearing gloves?
No.
I'm gonna palm the silver into my hand, and as he goes to hand me the drink, I'm just going to touch the silver. Like, I'm gonna palm it and touch his hand as I take it and see if there's any reaction.
Do you like linger with the silver?
Doesn't need to. There'd be an almost instantaneous reaction. So I want to see if there's any, like, if he hides it, if it hurts, anything like that.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Fantastic. I shall do that. I missed you, Trooper.
I missed you all too.
We miss you. We're just being mean because we don't know anything.
You just want to stab me. It's cool.
I know. I never said I said I was going to touch you with the blade. I never said I was going to stab you. But like, yeah, no.
It looks a little bad. It's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if I lunged at you in real life and was just like, feel this knife, I can understand.
In your ribs.
Yeah. A 22.
You seem to be able to apply it without having any type of effect.
Cool. I look to him and I say, did you manage to resolve that issue you had,
Yes, we killed it. Vile bastard.
How and where?
We were half a day's ride. One of the other men, Teagues, saw another one. I called him Peterson, but that's not who he is. Teague saw him turn.
Can I think of any question that I could pitch to him? Maybe rolling like a Witcher lore or something like that would give me a question that common folk wouldn't know. That would be maybe even contrary to, like, because I imagine like shapeshifters are a phenomenon that exists in every culture, but like,
right.
Can I think of something specific that I could ask him that would fact check if he really did kill someone?
Like you're talking like a physical feature, or
yeah, like, does it change back when it dies, or does it, like, what does it actually look like, or something?
Sure, yeah,
something
absolutely.
like that.
You wouldn't have to roll anything for that. You would know just by like drawings, even if you didn't have any personal applications with doppelgangers. Yeah, you would be able to understand what they look like just from report. So, yes.
I ask him, How'd you kill it?
The men. There was a conversation. They didn't believe that it could be Teagues or Peterson, and Teagues swore that he had seen something, and knowing what I know, I supported him, and we were going to just bring him back, and as being identified, I would be able to learn the truth. We were a half-day's ride, but he attempted to flee. He killed Thomas. He ran for the horses. We jumped him. There was a fight. Several other men were wounded. Teagues lost an eye, and we killed it. It was Peterson. It turned into this creature, skin with a bluish hue with pointed ears. It was haunting.
Does that tally up? Okay. Right, well, you know what, why don't I bring this to Wim and see if he's finished, you know.
Of course, and it was very... I'm sure Ezren had something to do with getting him prepared like that. He's teaching me how to be better. Down to earth and, a feat. Yeah.
That's good. And, you know, learn well from him. He has a good world view, he understands the people, and we'll pay attention.
Very well.
And I will head back to see if they've killed him yet.
Okay, and so as this conversation has concluded over the course of several minutes, what's happening in the room?
I'm looking horrified by my friends trying to murder me. That's what I'm doing, and I'm trying to avoid being
I'm not
murdered.
trying to murder you. I'm just trying to grab you. That's what I said. I'm jumping him.
That's very distressing.
Just want to get this sword back.
That is
If it's
also
not
very
him.
distressing. This is all very distressing.
It's very distressing that you're not Ezren, according to Einfra. To do so.
Wim would be kind of like putting a hand on Deuce's shoulder. It's like, we don't, hey, let's be calm.
We are not in
Just-
friendly places. We must take care.
There is no one listening.
We cannot be sure of that.
Yes, we can.
There are always people listening. We must
Aye,
take care.
servants and mages and doppelgangers.
Oh my.
But I can tell you right now, no mage is listening.
Thou hast said there is a mage here. If there
Aye.
is a mage here, then they perchance might be listening.
They're perchance not, because I can know if they are. That's what I get to do. But more importantly, I broke something, which would probably really suck for them right now.
Pray tell, what was it?
A spell.
And your sinus cavity.
Thank you
Left
for
one.
that, by the way.
Yep.
I really appreciate.
Yeah,
Really
Yannika's just
appreciate
washing her hands in like a wash basin while this is all going down.
So, after the very and this is a very professional term I'm going to give here, weird as fuck night I've had, in a very professional sense, what is my name, Ezren?
He looks to see what might be done to be the most safe. And he puts up a finger. And he walks over to a desk where he probably has, right, like a candle and writing instruments and all of that. And he's going to write something on a piece of paper. And he'll walk over and he'll hand it to you.
Hmm?
And if you read it, it will say Ainfra.
Cool. she'll take it and just hold it over a lit candle.
And he nods.
And let it burn.
Robert and Eris will be coming back about now.
Fine.
I tell Robert to wait outside because Wim is naked, and I head into the room.
Robert seems disappointed, and waits outside.
He wanted to see women naked, as everyone does.
I'm like, as I like halfway through the door, I look at him, and I'm just like, has he like put on new cologne or something? What the fuck is going on? And I close the door, and, like, I momentarily forget that, like, potentially Ezren is being murdered at this moment. I'm like, what is going on with my brother? And then I push in and I just say, might be him.
Aki, listen. Here is a plan that is somewhat disrupted. I thought I could have Lord Robert as an ally for the future with the passing of the elder Duke of Aglabal.
Wait, what?
An
Not
ally.
yet.
Well, as Lord Robert described it, the Duke of Aglabal would not have much time left. And then Lord Robert would ascend the throne, and we would have a good ally. However, the Duke has recovered somewhat. It seems as if that may not be the case, and
I'm very intrigued to see his medical condition.
I have been endeavoring to convince the Aglabals that the North is an ally and that they should. Gentles, Nilfgaard is here. It was a surprise to find this as I arrived, but they are attempting to negotiate Sidaris to become a client state of the Empire. And I'm attempting to convince them to remain neutral, or at least I'm attempting to convince them to remain aligned with the North, or at the very least to be neutral. It would have been easier were Robert to be the liege, but I'm having a bit more difficult of a time with Duke Aglabal.
Oh, so you want us to kill him?
No.
Oh.
It would not
Robert's
be honorable.
Outside, by the way. I just say to Yannicka, like, he's like literally the other side of the door. Maybe we don't need another regicide conversation. I'm really over them at this point.
Regicide is... Please, how might we... Master Wim, might you have some means with which to move Duke Aglabal?
I can probably carry him.
No.
He means sway the Duke.
Oh. Like, yeah.
No.
No, not like... You remember back home, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah. You remember how Gesso became part of Nilfgaard?
Yeah.
For those of us who actually studied, Gesso quit. They took one look at the oncoming Nilfgaardian invasion and they rolled out the welcome mat. Because of that, those in power stayed in power. They just paid their tithes to Nilfgaard. They accepted that their new hierarchy had one step higher than they could ever attain. That's what they are going to want, Ezra. They're going to want to stay in power. What you're convincing them to do is to stand in Nilfgaard's way. And if they do stand in Nilfgaard's way, well, we all know where that leads, especially with Emir on the front. So, think what Ezren is trying to say, and he kind of gives Ezren another look over just to like, as if he's expecting to like see like part of like his face isn't quite on straight. Just gives him another sort of wary glance, but says, what he's asking you is if you have any way to persuade the Duke to ally with Ezren's cause, I suppose.
It depends on how all this goes. But I suppose it's not impossible. I don't suppose you'd like to be a part of the conversation with me.
It would be my honor, Master Wim.
Well,
it is good to see you all.
If you'd like to accompany me and Yannicka for strictly medical reasons.
Of course. Of course. And there's a little twinkle in his eye.
What's that? Your eyeball's doing something funny.
Oh. Nothing. I am pleased to see you happy. Both of you.
Well, I'm, the same.
So...
Hello?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Let's go. I just fling open the door. 'Cause I'm tired of waiting. To go look at this, examine this dude.
I thought perhaps you had gone out the other way.
No, Lord Robert. We have not seen each other for quite a while, and as you know, there was some distress about.
Of course, I understand completely. Intimately.
Terrible business.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the three of us.
You may all come if you wish.
It's always polite to make your acquaintances. And your, sorry, not acquaintances, salutations. I haven't seen Uncle in decades.
He is
all right. That's
old, but getting stronger from his sickness. He is.
The chance it was a curse? Methinks, Mistress Vaughn, you have some experience with such?
I have a passing knowledge of curses, yes. But I'm sure Mistress Yannicka will show that it's purely medical.
I'm going to try to hang back with Ainfra so that Robert can't hear what I'm saying to her.
Robert,
as we're moving towards the Duke.
And Yannick will be asking questions like, how long has he been sick? You know, that like the, you know.
It started last spring as he goes around and like.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he's not overhearing this.
Yeah, and he's being kept busy in conversations.
Yeah. No role here. He's happy to talk to you. So.
Mistress Ferron.
Not likewise.
After our mission here, where should we go next?
You'll be determined in the future.
And you can tell he's troubled because, you know, a lot of stuff's been going on.
You want to save a dream, but that dream was polluted long before it shattered into a nightmare.
What dost thou mean?
You didn't have a dream as long as you thought you did.
Thou speaks in riddles.
But there are others who look for that dream, who want to believe in it. But you have to know that to make that dream a reality, that you can't call it a dream. It's work, hard work, and a goal, and steps, and plotting, and moving, and shifting of chessboard. To get what you want, Ezren of Rhilestilen, you have to give up the idealist and start playing the great game like the rest of us.
Aye, what is the first step? I bow to thy knowledge.
Knowing that everyone will always lie to you. And that they all have their own goals and wants. And it's when you start meeting those goals and wants without giving up what you want that you start gaining things. For example, I made a promise to Master Adrian. And I'm going to keep that promise to Master Adrian.
I know not this Master Adrian.
No, wait. We came to that conclusion before we came into Hangsford, that Eris was going to go by a different name because of the...
Oh, yes.
Actually, he
sorry.
told you he was going to go by his real name.
Yeah.
Aris is short for Adrian.
What was the promise?
Transportation. And help with a bubble. In exchange for his help with a small, professional impediment. And she just kind of, as she's walking, you hear in your mind, and killing your ex-girlfriend, as she keeps going.
Telepathy is a little disconcerting. So there's that kind of like little sort of surprising look, and he sort of walks on with the group towards the Duke.
And so then it ended with terrific diarrhea, but he seems better now. That's
probably because of the, that root that was given to him. It's a side effect.
Root?
Checked his medications. Yeah. She mixed this, because she would have asked the medications he'd been given, and she'd basically well, maybe that's because of the side effect, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look at him.
You can see he's actually intent on listening and learning. As you go into what would be the solarium of Duke Aglaval of Sedaris, you would see that inside the solarium, it is a large glass structure, it too facing the ocean. There is a large reclining couch, but no one is in it. The place is filled with roughly a dozen of the men-at-arms. There are several armored Nilfgaardian soldiers here as well, but they're off to the side. They seem to be dispersing. They're leaving with what looks to be a Nilfgaardian ambassador, but you do see them kind of trailing out as they go. Without the need for a roll, you would all realize that the enhanced military kind of presence in this room likely had something to do with the Nilfgaardians that just left. You feel and smell a tension in the air as soon as you walk in. But standing, unsupported, is a bent, incredibly old humanoid, easily 93, 94 years old. For those of you that are fans of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Eli Wallach is our face claim for Duke Aglaval of Sedaris. And Duke Aglaval would turn around. Well, look what we have here.
I bow politely.
And Robert would say, Duke Aglaval of Sedaris, my uncle, gatekeeper of the sea. Yes. He moves forward. He cuts through everybody, doesn't have any eyes for anyone, but picks out Wim. You look different. Still tall, though. Did you see her?
I did.
Will she see me?
I request an audience in private.
Very well. Okay. Very. Robert, can I take your friends out to the sun? We have beer with lime. Robert, Lord Ezren, I would need you to talk with Teagues of what has transpired here the last minute so. And he would indicate there's a one-eyed member of the men-at-arms, and Teagues would step forward. You can see that the men still have their hands on their swords. Something just happened in this room, and it almost smells of just about pregnant in action. It's just almost electric. The Witchers, you could smell it's that stink before and after a battle.
Your Grace, your wish is my command, but I pray you, my lord, think on my entreaties to keep Sidaris in mind of the friendship of the North.
Yes. Why do you think they're so pissed? So,
duties.
The rest of you, please, to the patio. Lord Ezren, Robert, make sure our guests to the south find their way to our borders.
Methinks I might, perchance, have the ability to calm them.
Yes, you speak with your silver tongue, Lord Ezren.
It has been my great pleasure that Sidaris is the place where I might be able to practice my diplomacy most spectacularly. It is an honor.
Yes. Well, we're fucking now, it seems. So, for good or ill, I hope you're worth it, Lord Ezren.
Aye. Gentles, I shall return in 15 minutes or so.
Robert and Ezren would quit the room, and the guards fall in with the Duke. They seem way more relaxed than what they were, but they're still keeping tactically they're keeping a perimeter around the Duke. They are within a beat of getting to his side. They've been told to, be relaxed around you all, but they're not. And the rest of you would be led out towards a patio, and for a moment, the two groups, Wim and the Duke, and the other group are moving close to one another, and just as they're about ready to break, Duke Aglaval shuffles just a bit to the left, and he says, just loud enough for your group to hear as you part out into the patio, "One of you is not as you are. You're a liar and a trickster, and you run so far. And the way you betray will give you away. You've made it a long way, but today is my day." And he smiles to your group as he leaves with Wim. And that, my friends, is where we will end this session of the Witcher family of Wraiths. Yay, travel music. Fantastic, yay! I love my friends so much, and they certainly love me. Let's start with our fantastic returning family member, Trooper, my friend. How are you? Where can we find you online? And thanks for coming back and playing Ezren. I appreciate it very much.
My pleasure. I'm just sad I cannot be here next week, but I'm so happy to be here this week. Yay! I'm Trooper SJP, and you can find me on my channel. And then, like on Fridays at 7 p.m., I run a French resistance campaign using Fate, and it's awesome. And I just missed everybody so much. I was so happy that I get to be here and see all of your shining faces, and so excited to live tweet next week with whatever shenanigans will happen. I'm so excited.
Fantastic, my friend. Yeah.
I hope I don't get kidnapped again.
I know. I received like 6 o'clock tonight. Trooper, I'm free tonight. I was like, what? Let's do it. Super fun. Love it. Let's jump up to Billy. Billy, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And how about that Trooper, eh?
How about that, Trooper? What a pleasant surprise. Yeah, super excited to have a potentially heated conversation with Duke Aglaval of Sidaris, this shisty old man, some sass. He's got some words to say, and maybe he just wanted his friends to think that he was always Wim, but he might not be Wim for this conversation. It's going to be, who knows where everything will fall. Super looking forward to it, though. If you like internet stuff and you scroll endlessly on Twitter, follow me at Bill of the Forest, and I will grant you no joy with my normal-ass Twitter account. Super excited for next week. You can see me on WebDM at 7:30 Eastern on Tuesday for the finale of our Symbaroum campaign that Sir Grimjack is also in. And then rocking some stuff in the future. Can't wait, y'all. This is what a crew. Looking forward to next week.
Fantastic, buddy. Fantastic. Let's jump up to Lindy. Lindy, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And Trooper?
Yeah, Trooper. It was great to see Trooper. Yannicka doesn't really care.
But Yannicka and Ezra are best friends.
Well, you keep saying that, but she's known you for 20 minutes. Probably, 5 of those were combat, and then you were gone. So she doesn't. You might have to talk to her a little more. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Perchance.
That was super duper fun. My paranoia is ranked up to like 12 out of 10 right now. And I have theories, which I was definitely just DMing Deirdre, like, what if that's like the whole time. So we'll see what happens next week and if any of those were right. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Every Monday and Tuesday on my channel, you can find D&D 5e. On Tuesday, we're about to head into a Rakshasa Ravenloft dungeon, so it's going to be pretty intense. Because last week wasn't intense enough with half the people taking dirt naps for a little bit. It's fine. They'll be fine. They're level 7. And then you can find me back here on Friday for Aether's Walkway, which is super fun. It's Cypher system. I have a cool mask that I wear for that. And Trooper's in there too. So it's like
I have a cool mask I wear for that as well.
It's like we're twinsies.
Your mask is the bottom half, I'm the top half. It's like...
Together we make one full mask. It's great. Yeah. And then you can find me in Prax on Saturdays on Wandering DM's channel playing Pirates because it's great and I'm so excited. That's all. I'm just excited. I love you guys.
Fantastic. Let's jump down to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And Trooper.
You can find me online at roleplayers_TV, where I post where I'm going to be this Friday. I will be over on Encounter Roleplay, where I'm going to be in the finale. Oh, God. Oh, I'm getting emotional even just speaking the words finale out loud. It is the finale of The Haunting of Seawall Orphanage, and we're not ready, and we're having a pajama party, and it's gonna overrun, and we are all bringing snacks and stuff, and it's going to be all kinds of things. It has been so emotional, and the stakes are so high, and things are gonna happen in every timeline, but whatever timeline it is, will be the darkest timeline, and it will just be amazing. As for the episode, welcome back, Trooper. We missed you, can't you tell? It's just nothing but adoration. Yeah,
those are ways to express missing someone.
Indeed, exactly. I missed. See, I swiped at you with my knife, and I missed. So yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. And might I just say that I love that when we world builded and we came up with backstories and stuff. Love the system, love all that stuff. But I wrote some stuff. And I love the fact that Greg threw that back in my face just then. But I will point out that little ditty ends with Aris killing a doppelganger. That's how the final verse of that song goes, which I might actually post on Twitter, the full song, later on tonight. But yeah, that's me. Love this episode, and we shall see what happens next week.
Fantastic, buddy. Let's jump up to JF. JF, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And hey, Trooper.
Yeah, I'm good. You can find me on Double Crits on Twitter. It was super cool to see Trooper. What a surprise. I just saw Ambassador there in the waiting room. I thought, okay, maybe that's Matt. Who knows? But Trooper, no, I had no idea. So that was a huge surprise. Sorry it had to play out that way. But
not even bothered.
The last thing we saw was a Doppler going that way. So even if he's not Ezren, Dusa might keep him around for a while as a reminder. We got a lot lined up.
Sad, dude. That is like super duper fucking sad.
It's like a Black Mirror episode, basically. There is one just like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, looking forward to see how this plot unfolds. It's I love the lime bears and all that. It's really quite fun. So let's see how it goes.
Fantastic, buddy. And last but certainly not least, our resident sorcerer who has to deal with a ton of my DM shit that I send back. Prax, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And hey, how about that Trooper?
Hey y'all, this was fun. Hey Trooper, love you. This was fun. I was like DMing Trooper all game because I got here early and figured things out. And then I was like, BT dubs. Sorry, gonna stab your girlfriend. BT dubs. Yeah, this was great. Anfra's in a place. This is a lot of fun, though. I'm glad, and I hope that it'll be great. I can't wait to see Wim have a reaction to Angloval. It'll be fun, I'm sure. He had a very restful night the night before. It would be fine. But as...
Right. Go ahead, yes.
Yes, he did. As for me, hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Dirgedonan on Twitter, or Praxgorthesmia40 as you see me around on Twitch. And tomorrow is the premiere over on Wandering DM of our anime game, The Sisterhood of the Magical Blade. It is so anime and so pretty and so wonderfully magical girls with swords and things, and just come watch. It'll be hilarious and wonderful. And then, like Lindy said, on Saturday I get to run the craziness over on Wandering DM for some pirate rapscallion Black Flag, and I mean, there's drama, there's awkward flirting. It's a great Saturday night. It's a great Saturday afternoon. But other than that, check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, all the fun things I get to do, and all the fun people I get to hang out with. I did release a game. It's Pay What You Want on itch. It's about wholesomeness and food and family and how traditions get passed along. So if you want to check it out, please do, and let me know what you think.
Fantastic, everybody. As for me, my name is Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, Tales from the Grim right here on the Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, please make a comment or leave a comment in the down below in the doobly-doo, and let us know that you too would like to be entered into it for a chance to win the Witcher PDF. I am going to now go over and figure out exactly who won our giveaway. Give me 1 second, everybody. Oh! Look at that, everybody. Look at that. Zombie, you are the proud owner of a Witcher PDF, my friend. Congratulations. If, like I said, if you are watching, please let me know and I will enter you in. Zombie, I'll contact you. Just hit me up on Twitter, Zombie, and I'll make sure that the lovely folks at Artausorian Games send you a fantastic, lovely, great read that it is, PDF of the core rules. As for me and as for the channel, we have the aforementioned Aether's Walkway on Friday at 1 p.m. That is GM'd by the fantastic Alice over at the Scraticus Academy. It is Monty Cook Games Cypher Systems. It is just the best. I get to play with a whole bunch of really great people and Lindy. No, I'm joking. They're all fantastic. And it's just a great way to spend 2 hours, start off your Friday with us, and then be back around the horn here for Witcher. We have a couple things we're going to be announcing soon, but I just want you to be here for our 20th episode next Wednesday. Our 20th episode is next Wednesday. It's setting up to be a good one. I appreciate everybody so much because this group is fantastically passionate about the game and about being consummate role players. And I cannot read DMs fast enough when I'm doing this and then have this. I look over and I see a wash of red and I know that I'm missing something. But I appreciate them very much for knowing that I'm going to do that and knowing that I'm old and don't respond to it. But this group is the best. I'm a Trooper. Thank you so much for contacting and reaching out. Instead of taking a day off, you joined us back in the continent with your family. Hugs to you, my friend, for being just the absolute best. Hugs to our fantastic Legion. Legion, you are always there to make the story better. You're always there for your comments. You're always there to donate for a particular moment. I will let you know that I had to save the GOD for next week because it's our 20th episode. And I wanted to make sure I had the GOD in next episode. So I appreciate that donation very much. And the key is earmarked and locked in for next week. And Staffen, get ready to take your trial of the grasses, my friend. You will be joining us in here. Matt's on his way in first, and then we will get you in here for your own individual flashback, and then at least one episode with this cast. You will be joining the illustrious ranks of Hawk and Matt as we get ready to play this game to its conclusion, whenever the hell that will be. But I love this group so much, and I'm going to release them back into the wild. As the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. Stay safe, stay healthy, tell stories.